Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Jason from Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today my recap from my view of the PlayStation 5 launch. So, the ultimate question from my thumbnail you have to be asking yourself, because I would be, did he get the PS5? The answer is no, I didn't. And I will take you through the steps that I kind of went through to attempt to get one and give you my recap of some of the things I saw out in the wild on launch. So it's not anything super exciting. I don't have any amazing video of like lines of people everywhere, which brings me to a different point. This wasn't a bad day, it was a shocking day for me. So for the last 3 weeks, I've been working overnights. And that is why I haven't been really putting out much content. I usually get out a video, sometimes 2, maybe 3 a week. If I'm really interested in something or I just able to carve that time out, I can't tell you enough or stress enough that sometimes you just don't have time to do things, which this to me is a hobby. This is something fun. This is my way of interacting with the world. So got out of the overnight tonight, 7 in the morning, 7:30, whatever it was. And a big box retailer is right down the street from me. So about 5 or 10 miles. A little bit further than right down the street, but whatever. So I go there. Now, mind you, I've been working overnights, and so don't beat me up too bad here, because I should have known this because of how much I love video games and retro and vintage things and action figures and stuff like that. I should be in the now, and I wasn't. I was very misinformed, but it's okay because I still had fun. And I still got something out of there, which we're going to get to momentarily. So I go down the street, get to the big box retail, and I'm expecting lines, everything like that. I look and there's not a soul. Look in the parking lot, there's nothing. And mind you, it's 7:40, 7:45, something like that. So it's 15 minutes before opening. And I'm like, I have to look on my phone again. Like, I'm doubting myself at this point. I'm like, maybe they released it early. Maybe they opened early. Like, I don't know. I drove by a GameStop on the way there, and the GameStop was closed. And I was like, what is going on? It's such a weird year in general for a lot of different reasons. This has got to be one of the strangest, most shocking things I've seen, but it shouldn't be because I'm very well aware of what goes on around me. Maybe it's just the lack of sleep. I don't know. But I get out of my car and I go, oh, hey. There's no way I'm the first one here. I don't see the lights open. I don't see cars. I don't see anything. If they had a midnight release, then cool. I missed out. If they didn't, then maybe everybody thought because of what's going on that maybe they're not going to release it. Maybe it's going to be some other way of getting it. So I said, whatever. I'm going to sit in line. So somebody I know, and I've known for a very long time, great guy, I was talking to him because I actually did work for this big box retailer before in my previous employment, one of them. And I'm talking to him. I go, hey, you're getting the first question of the day, man. How you been? Da, 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 da. And I was like, by the way, do you have the PS5? Of course, I'm going to ask. Let's get the elephant out of the room. We do. My mind pops at this point. I'm like, this is not real. Like, there's no way out of all the launches I've been to, and I've not been really successful. I almost was once. The PS2 launch, I think it was. And I missed it by one person. It is what it is. I was happy that that person got to bring home the PS2 and play it and have fun with it. I got it, a month or two later. But, no, there was one successful one, and I know I'm jumping off track, but this is just me. This is what I do. I recall things as I'm talking, as I'm looking around my room. The NES Classic in 2016 was so difficult to find. I got it just by being in the right place, the right time, the right moment. So the Super NES Classic, when that got announced, I'm doing it. I'm getting this off my bucket list. I want to wait outside for launch day all night. And to me, it's not something I've ever really been interested in, but I said, what the hell, I'm going to do it. And that day, I got to have some great interactions with some folks. I think it was 2017 maybe, 18, I can't remember now. It was one of those years, but it wasn't this year. But we were able to sit out, talk about gaming, talk about like how excited we were for this. have you heard about this, that, the other thing, what else is coming out and stuff like that. So it was a great experience. I ended up getting one. Everybody was wicked cool, calm and collective, positive conversations going everywhere. You know how I'm big on that. So bringing us back to now. They're there, but you can't buy them. Okay? Lay it on me. Like, what's the deal? You have to order it online. That's an agreement that that retail, along with other retailers, has had with Sony. And I think they did the same with Xbox. I'm not sure. It's to, I guess, according to him, and he was only speaking on behalf of himself. You know, at that point, he's not speaking on behalf of the company he works for. It's just a friendly conversation. So don't take anything I say with a, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But to my knowledge, from what he said, they had an agreement along with other retailers with Sony and possibly Xbox that in order to avoid large crowds, which in 2020 there's a lot of skepticism that is going on in the world of what's happening, what's not happening, is it real, is it fake? The elephant in the room, we already know the healthcare crisis that we're currently in, and from what I've heard, there's been a lot of surges throughout the United States, which is going to happen, I think, because of the holidays. It doesn't have to, but I'm not going to get into that. That's not what my channel's about. It's a depressing conversation. 2020 has been a tough year. We don't have to be reminded of it. But anyway, to prevent, making the situation that we're in any worse with large groups of crowds, because that is how, we are told by the CDC that the virus can spread from person to person, that they wanted to avoid that. Because they know when there's a big release or anything, there's huge crowds, they're being proactive. So I give them kudos for that. I give Sony kudos for taking a stand on that, because that is a very difficult thing. Because at the end of the day, this is a world where we make money. It is a business. The world is a business. And there are some moments in between that don't have to be that way. I don't always look at things. I don't look at what I'm doing right now a business. But again, I'm doing it as a hobby. Some people have to look at it as a business. Some people's livelihoods and livelihoods are in what they're doing and what this is right now. So I can give that respect to that, of course. And long story short, you can't get them. So I'm like, all right, I'll flip on my phone. Even though I know I've seen so many videos, but for whatever reason, I'm just having a moment of blank. Like, I'm just forgetting everything. I think it's just obviously because I was tired, but I get on my phone, try to look, and I'm like, I tried to look before and said you're out of stock, but I figured, sometimes retailers will do this to not really fool us, but to give, I think, an ample amount of opportunity for folks to come in and get it. Because typically with the launch title, a launch system, in most retailers, you don't get that opportunity to order it online. That is kind of the way the world has been going. It's, online sales have been crazy this year, but for obvious reasons. So typically that isn't the case. You have to come in the store, first come, first serve, no holding, no nothing. But this year is a little bit different, and it's cool. And I was okay with it, because if it's productive for society, it's productive for doing the right thing for what we've been going through, then so be it. And companies have to make that business statement. It's a bold one, because you can lose a lot of your base because of the differences in opinions and how people feel and everything like that. There's people that feel this way, there's people that feel that way, same as always. But with this particular year and that particular part of our history now, it's a very kind of cut down the middle of how people feel about it, and people have very strong feelings of it. So anyway, I try to get on the phone. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just throw them away, whatever. Me being foolish. I go, oh, they're out of stock. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I think everybody, they had launched at 12 supposedly. Everybody that had their opportunity to get one probably got one. I go, okay, cool. So what else do you have? Do you have accessories? Yes, we have A, B, and C. Okay, cool. Where are they? Right at the door. I'm like, perfect. Like I was just saying, they're right at the door, so that you don't have to run around the store like a maniac. You can get what you want, and you can go, you can continue your shop, and that is what you're coming in there for, but there's other reasons for it. So, and it's safer. Do we want people running around and, possibly getting hurt in these places and stuff like that? Me personally, I probably put a little pep in my step a few times, I'm not going to lie, because you're so super excited and you want this thing. Like that PS5 is at the back. Would I run full speed? No. I walk pretty fast, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm not going to do the jog. I'm not going to run. And I'd probably have a little pep in my step. But anyway, I went in there. I ran into a few other people that I've known over the years. You know, we had some good conversations about gaming and just life and how things were going. I think that this year, I know I'm jumping off again. The train it has to skip. We have to get some skips in it because it's my video, right? I think the one thing that I miss more than anything is, and you can do this. You can do this through Zoom. You can do this through social media. There's a lot of different ways. But I think that I truly, honestly miss that human interaction with people I know that I haven't seen in so long because, you know, I'm trying to do what I feel is best for my family and what's safest. So that's my choice. It's my decision. I don't typically get out a lot, and I haven't. I know a lot of people haven't. I go out. I still have the videos I shoot and everything. So clearly, I'm not saying that I don't go out, but I will say that I am very cautious while I'm out, and I'm very proactive in trying to do the best that I can for folks around me. So big conversation there. There may be a video that has to come out about that. I kind of want to get my opinion out there, but again, I've seen such toxic conversations that go on about that particular subject, along with others that have happened recently. I just don't have the time and the energy for it. At the end of the day, I like to throw my opinions out there. And if folks agree, like, cool, let's get into some great conversations. If you don't agree, then awesome. Like, tell me what I may be missing. But then you get the toxic conversations that are out there. And I don't like to be negative on this channel, but it's a reality, right? I'm not a fool. Reality is there's a lot of toxicity out there, I guess is the best way to put it. So anyway, back on track now. The train is back and going. I get in, get the things I need, talk to a few folks and leave, and I go, he did say it was for that particular retail and other retailers as well, but he wasn't sure. Yeah, I figure I'll run down the street, go to another one. So a couple more miles down, because I am working a little further away from home than I normally do, but not by a lot, by like 10 or 20 miles. So I go to another big box retailer. Again, there's more people there, so I'm like, all right. I don't see any lines, but there's more people there. And I'm like, it's the right time in the morning where typically at this retailer, there's either a lot of people there isn't, but like this year's kind of screwed up that algorithm, I guess. So I could pretty much tell you because of my work in retail, what times people usually come in and like the busiest hours and stuff like that. That's just stuff that I've been able to retain. That's an expertise for me. I know a lot about the retail industry and, about a lot of things like that. So I kind of know the different times to go in and, to avoid crowds or whatever. Not like you get in early because somebody snuck in, like nothing like that. Like just typically when people will go in, if you want to do some shopping and just not have any pressure, just walk in, get what you need to get and get out as opposed to dealing with all the nonsense lines and everything like that. I'm kind of good with that. So, get to this next one. There's a lot of cars in the parking lot. I'm like, all right. Maybe people are just going out buying, this, that, or the other thing because, we're all, a lot of people are hunting out there still, not as aggressively, but still for things to sanitize things around you. We all know why, blah, blah, blah. So that's sometimes why a lot of people are out. Maybe they just want to do the shopping early. Have the same mentality as me, get out early, get back and, be done with it. But I go in, go right to electronics, and I go, how you doing? I wanted to know if you had any PS5s left for sale. Now, mind you, I have been in this position more than once. And this part of my story is really irritating to me. It boils my blood, actually. I've worked in the retail industry for 20 plus years. That has been my primary job. Now, I've done a lot of different functions in the retail industry. But with that, no matter if you are an entry level or you are a leader, an exempt leader, so that means somebody that's salaried, an assistant manager, a store manager, whatever, you should act the same and accordingly with every person. Now, I don't want to get too much into this because this could be a great video someday because I know so much about it. And I have a lot of different opinions on it, and I think it'd be a great conversation, so I don't want to dig too much into it, but maybe somewhere down the line, I'll drop a video and drop some bars. Oh, did it again. I didn't do it on this. I did a Snapchat the other day where I said that. And I was like, wow, I sound so dated. But hey, I'm about to be 37 years old. I guess I could start to sound dated. It's cool. When I walked in there, now mind you, the point I was trying to get to is when you're talking with folks and there's a big release, it gets aggravating answering the phone 20,000 times. I do not have it. You just basically want to wear a sign that says, we do not have what you're looking for, right? But you can't. The whole point of their experience is they come in. And sometimes they're not the most friendly people in the world. When somebody's in front of you, you don't know what they're going through. They could have just lost a loved one. They could have, had a car accident. They could have lost their job. There's a million different things. So I've always had that mentality when I'm talking to folks, especially when I'm at work, that you don't know what somebody else is going through. And I think that kind of brings me to a good point. And I'm not going to dig too much deeper into it because, again, another video for another time. Different topic. We're here to talk about PS5. Jason, get to it! So, I go in there. I ask a very simple question. I'm always very polite. It's just in my nature to be polite and try to be a productive member of society. She has nobody else around her. And there's other guys there too. The acknowledgement I got was not very good. Online only. Turned around and kept doing whatever tasking they were doing. Now, I am a leader in the world of the retail industry. I'm not at an entry level. I'm at a higher level. It doesn't matter what level I've ever been at, though. I've never had that kind of response with somebody. No matter how bad of a day I've been or had or whatever, and then I just kind of leave it at the four walls, leave it at the front doors, I guess is the best way to say it. So that's just me. But there wasn't a lot of people. There wasn't, they weren't getting bombarded, and they could have. It's an hour and a half after open or whatever it is at this point. But wow, what a rude human being. And me being me, I'm tired, a little bit aggravated. No other engagement. I would not expect any. Just kind of walked away and go, all right, thanks. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, it's just a simple question. And then usually with that, the way I've always handled it, and it's the reason why I haven't gone to a lot of launches, is because I am very high up in the retail industry. Not like an executive or anything like that. I'm not the CEO of any company. God forbid I ever do that. But I am at a position where a lot of responsibility is on me, and that's where most of my time gets put up, other than being with family and a little bit with friends. Not so much this year, but in previous years I try to balance it out. But then I'm trying to balance this out as well. So I forget the point I was trying to make because I lost track. But we'll get back on track and just walk away or whatever. Okay, that's not the way that you handle yourself. Typically what I would do is try to engage more with the conversation. An aggravated person is going to lead to a very negative confrontation. It's just human nature. If that person didn't get what they want, poor me. Sometimes that happens. And I wasn't like, poor me. Because I was like, hey, if I get it, cool. If I don't, it's all good. I'll get it at some point, but it'd be really cool to get something at launch. And I didn't, so whatever, big deal. Walking around, just taking a look at things, looking at games, trying to get my mind off the fact that somebody was extremely rude to me. No cadence, no reason. It's just the way the world is. I should just get over it, right? But what happens to that day that comes that you can't? What happens to that day where we have to look at ourselves and go, could I have been a better person? The biggest thing with somebody like me is self-evaluation. Everything that I do, it's almost like it's such a consistent thing with me. Every conversation, every video, everything that I do, I always self-evaluate. Not because I don't think I'm good enough, but because for me, that is how I get better at what I do. So I just walked away and thought the same thing I always did. Could I have handled it differently? Did I have a different, my decorum? Did it come off a little rude? It's not questioning whether I did something or not. It's just thinking's not a bad thing. Overthinking is very bad, in my opinion. But thinking is not a bad thing. And if you make a mistake, you can always correct it, and therefore it isn't a bad mistake most of the time. But again, let's get off of that. I'm going way too far off the tracks again. Back on track. I walk around, got my mind off that conversation, and I go, oh, cool, there's some more accessories. Awesome. I noticed one's on the lock and peg. So that is a peg hook that's locked, prevents you from removing the product with ease because it is known to be an item that they have a high amount of shortage or loss in. So go back up to the said person. Again, still tasking. It's cool. It's whatever. It's early in the morning. You got to get things done. I get it. Hi. I saw some things that I wanted on one of your lock and pegs. Could you grab it for me? No response, just grunted, and I'm like, wow, like, I hope that I never come off like that. I've had some pretty bad days, and I hope that I never come off like that to anybody, because that's just awful. It's just a horrible way to handle business, and that's why, you know, you don't continue on, like, you don't develop, you don't make, you still make money. That retailer just it makes a lot of money, but, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess to me, just be better, people. When you're having a conversation, just always think about the things that I said, and I'll leave it at that. I don't like to put my opinion out there too much because it's my opinion, and it could be whatever it wants when it comes to certain things like that. So, go to grab the stuff. Ring up. All right, go. Bye-bye. Now, with all that being said, I did not get a PS5. But after doing some research, as I'm in the parking lot just trying to cool off for a minute, I realized that, you know, in fact, you know, all the retailers pretty much had that packed where it was an online only today. So I confirmed that by looking up, you know, looking it up on the internet or whatever I did. So it's cool. Didn't get it today. I saw some people that did. I saw some unboxings. That thing looks awesome. It's a different design. I'm not really a fan of like the full white, but if they had an option for a black, because I normally like my consoles to be a darker color, that'd be cool. But I guess dust shows up more on things that are darker colors, and dirt usually shows up things on more so that are lighter colors. I mean, that's just common sense, right? So I got a lot of dust on my PS5, I know that, or PS4, I should say, rather. It needs to be dust. I was just looking at it, but I did get some things, and I did want to share them with you. So, sorry for the long road to getting to this point, but again, I hope the things I say, it gets to you in some way where you can kind of evaluate, you know, my conversation with you and go, he had a good point, or he was way off, or whatever. And if you feel up to it or want to, let's get into a conversation about it, about anything. That's why I like the comments. That's why I like the comment section down below, of course. That's such a cliche thing to say at this point, but I really, truly appreciate any good, positive conversations, whether it's a disagreement or not, as long as it's in a friendly way and not being a toxic human being and just saying, oh, this and that. I didn't even want to say anything. So some of the things I've seen just by commenting on other people's videos recently, I just look and I'm like, what are you doing? And I know it's the same person that's trolling this particular creator. And then for whatever reason, they like to jump on my comments. But then I see, as the day goes on, they jump on every comment having some sort of nonsense crap to say. I just can't see why. I don't know. But hey, it's your time. It's your keyboard. You do what you want with it, I suppose. So let's get to the goods. So what did I get today? Well, I picked myself up an extra controller. I haven't opened it yet. I don't want to make this an unboxing because I want to take it out all at the same time. So if you want to see an unboxing, trust me, there's plenty of videos out there that you could take a look at. And yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about this. I've done some research, seen some unboxings. This is launch day, baby. I'm super excited. I did not get the PS5, but for once I got something other than that. Most of the time, like I said, I've been working when these things come out. This particular time I wasn't, so I could actually go out and have a chance of getting something because it's first come, first serve, and the guest or customer, some of you folks out there, is more important than ourselves. When I'm at work, that is how I look at it. That is how most companies I work for want to look at it. Although there are some other stories out there, and wonderful, it's great. Like I've heard some negative stories about some people pulling some nonsense, but typically that is what we do in the industry, and most places will do that with some sort of big item like this. But heighten your senses, discover a deeper, highly immersive gaming experience that brings the action to life in the palm of your hands. Wow, that is a handful, huh? I've seen the controller. I really want to open it, but I want to wait. I'm going to wait on it. But I do get a controller, and it's dual sense. I guess it's a different type of vibration. I mean, there's different type of feedback, I guess. I mean, I've looked at it, but like I've looked at so many videos and then I fell asleep, so I just woke up recently. But pretty cool. Super excited to have that. Let me get some other things as well. I got 2 games, and I had to double check it real quick because it kind of looks like a PS4 game. They're a little more expensive, I think, too. Let me take a look here real quick, just out of curiosity. Oh yeah, they're a little more expensive. I didn't even realize that. I was just so excited to buy it, but they do kind of look like PS4 games, but at least it has that side label. It says PS5, and I can put the stack in there. But I got Spider-Man Miles Morales. I heard that this was a really good game. I saw some gameplays on it, not much, but I love Spider-Man, and it looks like a really interesting game. So I'll be super excited to pop that in there. And also, because I haven't gotten one in forever. God, when's the last time that I got one of these? It's been years, honestly. I kind of fell off the series, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I probably just butchered that name, but it's from Havoc. Havoc's a pretty good company that distributes games or makes games, whatever. I wanted to jump in and try it. I've heard that it's not like the rest of them. It's fairly different, but it still has that Assassin's Creed feel. But I played the second one like a madman. I never got 100% on it, but I loved the second one. I got into the third. No, what was it? There was another one before that, or maybe I let a few go. The one that was based on the Revolutionary War, I think I did not get. I had it, but I never really played it. But I played a few of them after that, and I'll be excited to jump back into it. What I've been playing lately, I've been playing a lot of, I got back into the Call of Duty when I do have, like a half an hour to my time, at least for the last 3 weeks, playing that for a little bit, and I just started playing some Destroy All Humans, the PS4 remake, I guess, not like to Resident Evil standards, like those kind of remakes, but, the graphics are bumped up. I think it's the same as the first one, but it's really cool, and it takes me back to a different time, so... Again, falling off the tracks, but that's a good thing to fall off the tracks with. So, I got the HD camera. So, I can remember, what was it? The PS3. I was so obsessed with getting this accessory because of the different things I heard you could do with it. That you could take, video and upload it to the internet or upload it to PlayStation. I think they came later on, maybe with the PS4, but like there's just a lot. It kind of got me in the wheels of turning to what I'm doing now with the channel. So there's a lot more stuff I do want to do with that, but that's a lot of time, and that's something that honestly I don't have. I don't want anybody to feel like there's any excuses with that, but it's just being honest. So I tried and tried and tried. I could not get this accessory for that PS3. The PS4 one I got with no problem. The PS3, that was like the hopping thing. That was a hopping accessory other than the controllers and the system, of course. But to get this on launch day, I didn't get the PS5, but I got some pretty cool accessories. And I'm sure this will come in handy because this can actually capture 1080p HD footage, which is cool. Background removal tools. Oh, wow. So that kind of like does something like an Elgato or something around those lines can do, or a green screen. So that's pretty cool. And built-in stand. The stand is awesome. So when I saw that, I was like, there's a stand that comes with it. The other ones, maybe I'll show it to you during the unboxing when I get the PS5, but I'm looking at it right now, and it just doesn't, it sits where it's supposed to, but I think that a stand would be more better for me and better for my, where I have everything. So we got the camera, cool. And we got one more accessory. Now, the reason why I got this is because I noticed that the PlayStation actually has, I don't know if it shows the back on this. It doesn't. So typically on the PlayStation controllers, it'll be right underneath where the two knobs are, the two controllers. This one, it's actually in the back, I believe, unless maybe there's two different ways to charge it. I don't know, to hook it up, but it just seems like it'd be a lot harder to run a wire, even though it's not really that big of a difference. So underneath, think about it, like this is the side view underneath, and it looks like it's kind of like at an angle. So it's kind of an awkward way to charge a controller, and I don't know if it comes with a really long charging cable. If it does, and those are going to be tough to come by at first, and then, as months go on, just like with anything, you'll be able to get one. But if it's not that camera that I had an issue with getting, it's the longer cord. So I think it usually comes with like a 6-foot cord or whatever. I like a longer one because I like to be further away from the TV. That's just me. But I got the DualSense charging station. So if I do run into that issue, I could charge my controllers after I'm done with it. And we're done. So, as always, let me know. Random leaf. Let me know down in the comment section down below, how was your PS5 launch day? What did you get? Did you get any of the goodies like I did? Or did you get lucky and get the system? I'm pretty excited with being able to get that. And I'm going to go out tomorrow and we're going to see if we're going to get any of them. Any of the PS5. Or any PS5. Not any of the PS5s. Like, I'm going to get like 20 of them. No. So hopefully, if I do, tomorrow at some point, I'm going to definitely upload that video for the unboxing, because I'm super excited to unbox a new console. You don't get to do that very often. It's been 8 years, I believe, since the PS4 originally came out. That's a pretty long waiting time. Typically, it's like 6 to 8 years, I think. Usually, they'll come out with a console. Don't quote me. But tune in tomorrow if I get a video up, because I'm going to be going bananas. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you very much to the 75 folks out there that are subscribed to the House of Fun and Video Games. So we went down 2 subscribers. It's okay. People come and go. As long as, there's somebody out there watching and having a good time, I can get into some engaging conversation that's positive about video games, action figures, life, whatever. I'm cool with it. And that's the whole point of this channel. If you have already subscribed, thank you. Go a step further and make sure you hit that notification bell. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that bell while you do it so I don't have to tell you to do something twice. By doing that, every time that I upload, you will get a notification to come back to the House of Fun and Video Games, get into some great conversations, fall way off the train tracks, try to get back on, fall off, and then just have a good time. And look at all the crazy stuff that I got all around me. That is cool, at least in my opinion. Maybe it's not. But thank you for everybody who's subscribed. If you haven't, make sure you do that. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Always love those positive conversations. And at any rate, that's it. No long outro. This is Jason, Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. I hope you have a wonderful night. Is it night? Yeah, it's almost night. It's almost the next day. I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. The weekend isn't here, so I'm going to hold off on telling you to enjoy that, because maybe I'll be back tomorrow with some PS5 unboxing. Or maybe not. But anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. Have a great night. It will be filled